Hello and welcome back to Word Unlocked. I'm Jake.
And I'm Sarah, and today's word is one of the most important character words in English. It is not about being impressive, not about being perfect. It is about how you carry yourself, especially when things are hard.
Yes, anyone can look good when things are going well. Dignity shows up in the difficult moments. Sarah, the word.
Dignity.
Dignity. Let's learn it.
Dignity means a calm, composed sense of self-respect. It is the quality of behaving with honor and poise, especially under pressure, especially when you are being treated badly, especially when panic or anger would be the easier response.
Dignity is not arrogance. Arrogance says, I am better than you. Dignity says, I know my worth, and I don't need to prove it by losing control.
Now the chunks.
Chunk 1. Maintain your dignity, or keep your dignity. The situation is difficult, humiliating, painful, and you choose consciously to stay composed, to not let the pressure break your professionalism.
For example, when the project was canceled after a year of work, she maintained her dignity, thanked the team, and left the meeting without a single complaint. Inside, devastated. Outside, composed. She maintained her dignity.
Maintaining your dignity in a humiliating moment is one of the hardest things to do because the instinct is to react, to defend, to fight back. Choosing calm instead, that takes real self-control.
And the people watching always remember it. The person who maintained dignity in a hard moment, they are remembered for that, long after the difficult moment is forgotten.
Chunk 2. Beneath your dignity. You refuse to do something not because you are lazy, but because the task or the treatment is so inappropriate for your level or your values that doing it would compromise your self-respect.
For example, being asked to take notes in a meeting she was supposed to be leading felt beneath her dignity. Not an unreasonable reaction. She was there to lead. Being positioned as note-taker without discussion was beneath her dignity.
Beneath your dignity can be said seriously when something genuinely crosses a line, or it can be said with humor when you are playfully refusing something trivial. Context and tone tell you which version is being used.
For example, fold my own laundry? That is completely beneath my dignity. Clearly playful, clearly not serious. Tone makes the difference.
Chunk 3. Lose your dignity. You stop behaving with composure. Panic, anger, desperation takes over, and the behavior that follows, embarrassing, unprofessional, something you later wish had not happened.
For example, he lost his dignity in the meeting when he started blaming colleagues loudly for a mistake that was clearly shared. The composure was gone. The professionalism was gone. He lost his dignity, and everyone in the room saw it.
Losing your dignity is almost always regretted, not in the moment. In the moment, the emotion is too strong to see clearly, but afterward, when the temperature drops, and you look back at what happened.
Which is why, in hot moments, the phrase maintain your dignity is worth saying to yourself, not for the other person, for you, for the version of yourself you want to be in this moment.
Chunk 4. With dignity and respect. A formal phrase used in policies, in HR documents, in healthcare, in law. Every person, regardless of role, background, status, deserves to be treated with dignity and respect. Full stop.
For example, the patient care guidelines state that every individual must be treated with dignity and respect at all times, not when convenient, not when they deserve it, at all times, with dignity and respect.
With dignity and respect is not just a formal phrase, it is a standard, a floor below which treatment must not fall. When organizations name it, they are committing to it, and they can be held to that commitment.
And chunk 5, a quiet dignity. Not loud, not announced, not performed. A calm, natural self-respect that radiates from a person without them having to say a word.
Example, she walked into the room, after everything that had happened, with a quiet dignity that silenced the critics before she said a word. No defense, no explanation, just presence. a quiet dignity.
Quiet dignity is my favorite chunk on today's list because it is the opposite of performance. It cannot be faked. It comes from genuinely knowing your own worth and not needing the room to confirm it.
Two stories. Mine first, about maintain your dignity. A few years ago, I was in a client meeting that went badly, very badly. The client was frustrated, understandably, about a delay, but the way they expressed it crossed into something personal. Sharp comments, a raised voice, comments about competence that were not fair.
And I felt it, the heat, the instinct to defend myself, to push back on the unfair characterization, to match their energy.
But something in me, I don't know exactly what, chose differently. I let them finish, and then I said, calmly, I hear your frustration. Let me explain where we are and what the plan is. Nothing defensive, nothing reactive, just calm, factual, forward-looking.
How did the client respond?
They came down almost immediately. Because I hadn't matched their energy had nowhere to go. The meeting ended professionally, and 2 weeks later, they sent a message apologizing for how they had spoken.
Quiet dignity. Change the temperature of the room.
And I felt good about myself afterward. Not because I won, but because I had been exactly the person I wanted to be in a difficult moment. That feeling, it lasts longer than the meeting.
My story is about a quiet dignity, and it is about someone I observed, not a situation I was in. A few years ago, I watched a senior colleague face a very public professional setback. A decision she had championed and worked hard on for months was reversed by leadership, publicly, in a way that was difficult to witness. And in the meeting where it was announced, everyone was watching her, waiting to see how she would react. Would she argue? Would she look wounded? Would she make it dramatic?
She did none of those things. She nodded. She asked one clarifying question, a good question, calm and professional, and then she said, "Thank you for explaining the reasoning. I understand." And she moved on to the next agenda item.
Quiet dignity, in one of the hardest moments to maintain it.
And afterward, several people came to her separately to say, I saw how you handled that. It was remarkable. The quiet dignity had said more than any defense or argument could have.
Quiet dignity is never invisible. Even when it is quiet, people see it and they remember it.
Especially in hard moments. Especially when the easier response would have been to react. The choice to maintain quiet dignity, that is always noticed by everyone in the room. Okay, let's finish. Dignity, the calm, composed sense of self-respect that guides how you behave, especially under pressure. It is not about being perfect. It's about how you carry yourself when things are hard.
Your 5 chunks. Maintain your dignity, or keep your dignity, staying composed and professional in a humiliating or painful situation. Beneath your dignity, refusing something because it is inappropriate or insulting to your level or values. Lose your dignity, letting panic, anger, or desperation take over in a way you later regret. With dignity and respect, the formal standard that all people deserve fair and honorable treatment. And a quiet dignity, the natural, unperformed self-respect that radiates from someone who knows their own worth.
Homework today. Think of one upcoming situation that might test your composure. A difficult conversation, a stressful meeting, a moment where the easy response would be to react. And before it arrives, decide, how do I want to carry myself in this moment?
Dignity is a decision made before the moment arrives, not in the middle of it. Decide now, and the moment will be easier to navigate.
Maintain it, protect it, and never give it away cheaply.
Thanks for listening to Word Unlocked. See you next time.
Stay curious, stay composed. Later.
That was delivered with quiet dignity.
Without